Hello everyone, welcome to the Honor Conference. Last year was a challenge, we all know it. And yet, Honor achieved an impressive 21% year-on-year growth when it comes to smartphone shipment in the first 3 quarters of 2019.
We have 2 new tech products that we want to show you all. The first one is the Honor MagicBook 14. And I'm happy to say that it's finally here. And here is the MagicBook 14 right in my hands. All right, there you go. Now, one of the key things that you'll immediately see is how thin this laptop actually is. At its most thickest point, it's only 15.9 millimeters thin. When it comes to the design, you see the very unique azure blue chamfer, which is essentially this panel around the edges that helps illuminate the laptop. It looks like a light, even though it isn't. Now, let's talk about that 14-inch display. I'm happy to say that it's a full view display, just like what we have in our smartphones as well. And it's also TUV rain-lens certified exactly the same way. And along with this, the screen has also been laminated, and that's going to prevent any glare happening on the screen from any direct sunlight. The bezel is only 4.8 millimeters thin. Take a look at the hinge. It's 180 degrees when it comes to flexibility. Privacy is something, especially in 2020, which is becoming more and more important to all types of consumers. There's actually a pop-up webcam that's embedded in the keyboard itself. You simply press the button and it comes immediately out, only when you need it to. We've also got a power button that actually has a fingerprint sensor built in. The MagicBook 14 has not only USB-C, but USB 3.0, 2.0, a HDMI port built in, and a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack with no adapters required. Now, with the MagicBook 14, you're actually getting up to 10 hours of battery life, and that's all on a single charge. That's going to charge up to 46% in the first 30 minutes using a 65-watt Type-C fast charger that's in the box. Now let's talk about the actual performance and capabilities of the MagicBook 14. You've got an AMD Ryzen CPU with a Radeon Vega GPU. There's 8 gigabytes of DDR4 dual channel RAM. Now, when you combine this with the GPU, you're getting 30% better graphics performance when you're playing video games on this laptop. When it comes to the storage space, you've got a 256 gigabytes of a PCIe SSD. The Honor MagicBook comes with Windows 10 pre-installed, so there's no problems with the OS. USB drives are a very old school way to be transferring files. Then came Cloud Drive, but actually there's still problems with that. At times it's delays, at times it's lack of speed. So we wanted to tackle this in our MagicBook, and we're doing this by introducing Honor Magic Link. We absolutely believe in Honor Magic Link, and we think it's the best way to seamlessly integrate your Honor MagicBook with your Honor smartphone. You can actually move your files, documents, photos, videos from your phone onto your laptop and vice versa with complete ease. You can also get your phone on your laptop screen and actually use your laptop's mouse pointer to control your phone instead. It's something completely new that we're introducing on our Honor system. What about the creators who want a larger display? Well, I'm again very excited to introduce the Honor MagicBook 15. It's got all the same innovations that we've introduced from the Honor MagicBook 14. It's got a 15.6-inch Honor full view display and all the same privacy features and security you would expect, like the pop-up camera and like the fingerprint sensor. It's capable of getting a 54% charge in the first 30 minutes. It's utilizing the AMD Ryzen processor, and it's got all the features you expect from the Honor MagicBook. And of course, it comes with Magic Link as well. For us, the X series have always been about pushing the boundaries of innovation and making them more powerful, yet accessible to all consumer types. So, we're going to introduce the Honor 9X Pro. And here it is, the Honor 9X Pro. The color that you see right now in my hands is what we call the Phantom Purple. It's completely new, yet it also has a similarity to it with the X design that's on the back of the phone as well. And a second color that we're also introducing is Midnight Black. Here's a quick overview for all of you to see in terms of the core differences between the 9X and the 9X Pro. And one of the biggest things that you'll see is that we've upgraded from the original Kirin 710 to the Kirin 810 chipset, which is all about driving more performance and better efficiency from the 9X Pro. And the Kirin 810 chipset is utilizing the DaVinci architecture. This is enabling the AI performance to be tremendously better as well compared to the previous generation. When it comes to the cooling system, to actually support the CPU, GPU, NPU, and all these other PUs, what we've got is a liquid cooling system. This will dissipate heat quickly by up to 5 degrees Celsius. And when it comes to RAM, we've got 6 gigs of RAM available. So for multitasking, you are covered. There's 256 gigs of internal storage space, and this can also be expanded by up to 512 gig. Let's also talk about the camera. So like I was mentioning, there's a triple lens camera in this phone. The main is a 48 megapixel camera. You've got a 2 megapixel depth assist to support you with the bokeh and the portrait imagery. And there's also the 8 megapixel wide angle camera, so you can capture more detail than before. Compared to the original 9X, the 9X Pro has a 4 times higher ISO range capability, meaning low light photography is a thing of the past, and actually you're gonna get much better photography when it comes to low light conditions. But what if just the ISO isn't enough for you? Well, that's where we're gonna introduce AIS Super Night Mode 2.0. Here's a quick example for all of you. This particular image was shot at nighttime on a tripod for 30 seconds, and you can see the level of detail that the 9X Pro has been able to capture, especially with the variations of lights coming from the street lights onto the road and even on the pitch itself as well. You can even see the individual players, for example. So that's the 9X Pro. You've got extraordinary performance with the Kirin 810. You've got the triple camera setup as well for all scenarios. And of course, you've got that amazing design with the new Phantom Purple color variation as well. That's not the only phone that I want to show you all today. There's one other as well. And that's the Honor View 30 Pro. Before we go into any further specs with this, I'm so excited to share with you all that it has world-leading 5G experiences all built into this phone. This is all enabled by the Kirin 990 5G chipset. You're going to get download speeds up to 2.3 gigabits per second and a maximum upload speed of close to 1.25 gigabits per second. On the top, you have a 12 megapixel CINE-LENS movie camera. In the middle, a 40 megapixel super sensing camera. And then on the bottom, an 8 megapixel telephoto camera. And that's all followed up by laser autofocus. Now, previously, I referenced the Honor 9X Pro, and I said how it has a 4 times better ISO range than the previous generation's Honor 9X. Well, the View 30 Pro takes this to a whole new game. Why? Because we're not comparing smartphones to smartphones. We're comparing smartphones to professional-grade DSLRs. So we're going from a Canon 5D Mark IV with an ISO range just above 100,000, with the View 30 Pro, which has an ISO range 4 times higher at more than 400,000. One other feature that we've introduced for the first time on a smartphone is dual view videography. So there's a lot of occasions where we don't know which camera lens to use. We look at it afterwards and say, oh, that could have been a wide angle shot, but we've missed the moment. With dual view, you can utilize the existing 40 megapixel main and combine it with an 8 megapixel telephoto camera. And that's going to let you capture the same moment in 2 different ways. Right, now I want to talk about this really interesting lens, the 12 megapixel CINE-LENS movie camera. This particular movie camera has built-in 5-axis EIS for stabilization and a custom sensor which has a 16:9 ratio. What this means is your wide angle videography is going to be improved tremendously. So when you compare against a standard lens, this is what it would look like. But actually, you can explore so much more information by utilizing the 12 megapixel CINE-LENS. When you combine that with stabilization, which is the 5-axis EIS, you're going to get buttery smooth videos. We're really proud of what we've been able to do with this lens as well. So that's the Honor View 30 Pro. Now let's address the elephant in the room, apps and services. For us, we think apps and services are 2 of the most important parts of the experience when using an Honor smartphone. And that's why we're introducing all the essential and exclusive apps that you would need that work seamlessly with your smartphone. With this secure platform, you can easily and reliably install the apps which complement your lifestyle. And it's not just apps from a select region. This is on a global level. We're partnering up with developers all around the world when it comes to getting the latest and best apps on the app gallery. That's not the only thing that we're actually introducing today when it comes to the app gallery. Something else is the Huawei Assistant. Now, the Huawei Assistant is a virtual assistant. You swipe from the left and you bring it onto your screen. And this will enable you to search not only the web, but also your phone. And there's also a built-in newsfeed, so you can find out all the current events that are most relevant to you. Now, when it comes to the app gallery, this is actually going to be built in right out of the box in the Honor View 30 Pro and the Honor 9X Pro. And the Huawei Assistant is also going to be available, which will further enhance your smartphone experience.
So as many of you know, at the end of last year, we launched the Honor MagicWatch 2. It was quickly recognized for its amazing battery life and great fitness tracking capability. That is why this evening I'm incredibly proud to share our new series of standout smartwatches. We have collaborated with designers from around the world who have been using the Honor MagicWatch 2 as their canvas. We are also proud to be introducing a new set of easy fit straps in a multitude of different colors, which will be available soon, so watch this space. Now, when it comes to new improvements, we haven't just focused on design. There are also a number of new functionalities which we have added. The first is the all-new female cycle tracking. On top of this, we've also added the SPO2 monitor, which is great for those who love trekking at high altitudes. But if high altitude trekking isn't your thing, perhaps ice water swimming is. We recently partnered with the International Ice Swimming Association and went down to their GB Championships. Partnerships like this are incredibly important to Honor, so I now have something very exciting to announce. But before I do, let me ask those who are watching if you are using earphones, and if so, how's the sound quality? See, at Honor, we understand that you are always on the go, and that is why we are committed to a distraction-free listening experience. Cue the Honor Magic Earbuds. With a dual microphone setup for amazing noise cancellation. On top of that, we have also added 3 dedicated microphones for clearer hands-free calling, and a 10mm driver unit for rich, clear, and expansive sound. So there you have it, the Honor Magic Earbuds, designed for the global youth.
There you have it, the new ecosystem with all the products we've just announced, all together in one picture. Now let's all talk about something you've all been waiting for. Let's talk about money. I'm happy to announce that the new MagicBook is going to start selling at €599 for the 256 gig variant, starting end of March in selected markets. For the 512 gig, we'll be coming back to you soon with more details. When it comes to the 9X Pro, it will start selling at €249, starting March. As for the Honor View 30 Pro, it will be coming soon to Russia and more countries starting March. As for the Honor Magic Earbuds, they will start selling at €129 only, starting April. And finally, the Honor EasyFit strap would start selling from €35.9.